We're doing a podcast again. It has been a hot minute since I have done podcasting. Hi, I'm CJ. That's Scott. We're doing the podcasty stuff.
Hi, guys. This is actually my first legitimate podcast.
Oof.
You're going to have fun.
That's all good. Everybody got to start somewhere. Everybody has to start somewhere. Okay.
My constant struggle and rise. I have no zen. Okay.
It has to be in the best font. It has to be in the best font.
Mm-hmm. Have you chosen the best font yet?
Of course. It's Comic Sans.
Of course.
Oh, man. Okay. I'm tired tonight. Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
Alright. Well. Alright. Sounds good. You sound good. I think I have everything set up right. It's been a bit since I've done this, like, for Twitch and stuff like that, but I think I got it all down.
I mean, you tend to set it up for when we record D&D, so...
It's a very different setup, though.
True. Very, very different setup.
Very different setup. Alright, okay, I'm going to go ahead and start recording that there, and then come over here and record this. Grayson being squeaky. Alright. All right, I think we are going to begin going. Oh, bleh. Why did it push me up? I was not expecting that. Why? Why you do that? Why do? Zencaster, why? Yeah.
Because that's why.
Make me smaller. Regis camera now, because Zencaster's like, no, I'm going to just put you there. Fairly sure Grayson's being a monster.
Sounds like it.
He's having fun. Alright then, let us begin doing the thing. Make sure my buttons are right here. Alright. Hi, Grayson. Is he okay up there?
I don't know.
Grayson, you're being very spooky. Okay, I'm gonna go now. He's so loud. He's playing with Kia. Alright. Doing the thing now. In a 3. A 2. And a... You are listening to a podcast of the Geek.io Media Network. For all of our shows and more, visit geek-io.net. And to help support the network, head over to patreon.com/geekio. Hello and welcome everybody to Gamer Geeks. Oh, my camera screwed up. One of my favorite podcasts that we've ever done. It has been a long time since we recorded this, and a brand new setup. I am, of course, your host, CJ Bowden. Joining me along on this adventure is my player 2, Scott Galloway. Hi, Scott.
Hi, CJ.
How you doing?
Very, very tired today, but glad to be here and going to enjoy doing this with you.
I am super excited that you accepted my invitation, and yeah, I'm glad to begin podcasting again because it has been a year.
Yep, and talking your favorite subject.
Exactly. So, this show didn't run for long in its previous iteration, so I'm going to go through... Scott and I are going to go through some introductions of myself. I'm CJ, like I said. I play mostly RPGs. JRPGs, KRPGs, Western RPGs. Doesn't really matter. My guilty pleasure is stealth games. I love me some Dishonored and some Thief and Hitman. Card games. I've been playing Magic the Gathering since 1994. So longer than most people who would listen to this will be alive.
It's a fun game.
It is.
You get into it.
It is. I have also played a lot of fighting games, actually, fairly competitively until I started getting repetitive motion issues with my hands. Back in the days of Street Fighter 3 and Street Fighter Alpha 3. I play a lot of card games, a lot of actual physical card and tabletop games, Magic, Card Fight Vanguard, Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know. I sometimes play this game called D&D or something. I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes he likes to torture players.
Tell us a bit about yourself, Scott.
As we said, I'm Scott Galloway. I'm been playing for a very, very long time, and I happen to pretty much just love RPGs, FPS games, and RTS. My guilty pleasure used to be MMOs, though nowadays I would definitely say it's Monster Hunter. I am a Monster Hunter fanboy. I picked it up in World and have not been able to put it down. It's where I like to spend my most time. It's my most zen moment in terms of gaming nowadays. But my real guilty pleasure, building games. If you give me a factory game, you'll lose me for hours. And I will come back trying to make chains of things on graph paper to make the best efficiency scenarios.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I used to do the same thing on like Civ and SimCity, so...
Yeah, I'm currently doing that with Evil Genius 2. Just trying to figure out the best minion room layouts right now. Still got to come up with that interrogation floor.
So, now that the introductions are out of the way, we're going to go about what this show is actually going to be talking about. We're going to start off with news. Talk about some of the bigger news, which is kind of slow right now, but I'm okay with that because it's better than starting on E3 week like I did the last time this show started airing.
That was a bad choice.
That was a very bad choice. Incredibly bad choice. And that's not just video games. We're going to talk some card games and stuff like that too if the news is big enough. Mostly video games, though. Don't run away scared. And then we're going to talk about...
Start running.
I mean, that's also fair. And then we're going to talk reviews after that. So for the podcast listeners, there's going to be 2 breaks during this. After the introduction, going forward, the introduction is going to be talking about like games that we've been playing that we're not necessarily reviewing and stuff like that, just kind of hanging out because Scott and I are gasp friends and actually now have a platform to talk about games that we play.
Instead of just back and forth between each other on Discord all the frickin' time.
Yeah, exactly. geek-io.net/Discord. And so you're going to have a break between the intro and the news, and then a break between the news and reviews. But if you don't want those, patreon.com/geekio or twitch.tv/geekio Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. Anywho, speaking of which, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break for our podcast listeners. We'll be right back with the news. Stay tuned! My head is very big on stream and I hate it.
Stop having a big head.
Yeah, I wish it was
Turn
just
big head mode off.
Yeah, right. I forgot the cheat code, now it's just stuck on. Shittily enough, my achievements have been turned off because I did this once.
Broke. Your Game Shark broke. You broke your hex code enough with the Game Shark that it's just permanently broken your cartridge.
Mm-hmm. I've done that before. Mega Man Soccer, I did that with.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I remember using those Game Sharks way too much.
And that's the way that I have the camera set up because for whatever reason Zencaster ate my camera. So now my face is like huge on here compared to yours because I'm in a corner and then I had to blow my face up so I could actually see me because then if I didn't do it I would have to go back through and change everything and
how far are you away from your camera?
Like I am not even touching the camera right now.
If I extend my arm, I can touch the camera easily.
Like, I am fairly far away from it. Like, now I can touch the camera, but I'm, like, gigantic. It won't be like this next week. I'll just
we'll get it figured out.
Yeah, figured out. First episode. Wouldn't be a Geek IO podcast without technical difficulties.
Which we have every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yep. Alright, so I have some bumpers for news and reviews. So, when we come back out of the break here in just a second, I will play the bumper for them.
Mm-hmm.
And we will be good to go. Alright, yep. There's that one. Okay. 3. And we're back, and now it's on to the news. Oh my god, I have had that sound bumper literally since the last decade. This is the news! Your weekly news. Alright, Sony is going to be shutting down their last generation, or their 2 generations ago software in August this year. PlayStation 3, Vita, and PSP are all going to be down by August 27th, 2021. I am genuinely surprised the PS3 and PSP are still online.
I mean, yeah, but it's really good on Sony to have that long of device support, honestly.
Oh, absolutely. It may have been just big games that I've been hearing about, not the actual PlayStation Store themselves. But like some of the Facebook groups that I belong to for retro gaming and stuff like that, all of a sudden these people just came out of the woodwork. I was like, hey, I haven't bought a PlayStation 4 yet because I'm still working through the library of PlayStation 3 games. Huh. Good for you.
Wow.
That's dedication to play. That's dedication to beating games, man.
Yeah, like, are you platinum trophying every single game?
Some of them are.
Oh.
But yeah, I was surprised that when this popped up in my email, I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, like, long term, like the cost to them to maintain those back end servers, with everything that's going on, I'm pretty sure it's now those archaic horses that we both fear in our industry.
Yeah. And it's just the whole thing of,
if they turn it off, if they try to reboot it, it'll explode.
Oh yeah, I guarantee those things haven't been updated in forever.
Yeah, and with some of the current things that have come out from the FBI and a few other places, it's like, oh yeah, if you're not updating and doing everything right now, please just start shooting yourself in the foot.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, God, I kind of want to drag out my old PS3 and find a game that's still online and play it now.
I don't have one that Hang on. I have to go back to PS2 to play that game. Never mind.
Because I have my PS3, it's literally, if I go in that door right there and turn to the right, it's right there. I just gotta look to see what games are online. I might actually hook that up before August to play it, just to hit that nostalgia bone a little bit.
Like, the only thing that could potentially be on there would be Final Fantasy 11?
Yeah, Final Fantasy 11 was on there.
Yeah, which of the MMO ones was there? But I'm not sure if those servers are still up.
11 is, yeah. PS3 servers are still there. PS2 servers are still there for that one.
Jeez.
Yeah, Square doesn't take down servers.
I mean, Square continually updates and supports their
that's still getting regular updates, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
I get emails for it because I played Final Fantasy 11 so long. I still get emails. It's still charged. It's still subscription model, by the way. They're still not doing free to play on that, which is mind-boggling.
Never played that one.
It's real good in a group. It's very Japanese, though, the way the Japanese RPGs used to be, so it's super grindy.
Oh, yeah, can't play those anymore.
Yeah, that is, there's some stuff there. Speaking of grindy games, though...
Speaking of MMOs...
Elder Scrolls Online ESO is free to play right now. You can go download it, the base game, for free.
ESO is a very fun game.
Genuinely one of my favorite MMOs.
And it's pretty much, I mean, not to knock Elder Scrolls Online, it's kind of gone single player in a sense.
Oh yeah, no, I only see really people. It's mainly because population isn't great or anything like that. But like, I rarely see people. Well, I see people a lot. I just don't really interact with people outside of my my guild that I'm in. Except if I'm in dungeons. I just love the way that they handle that game now, where we can play together no matter what level it is, and there will be no difference between anything.
Well, that's good. Until you start talking like end game type of content.
Exactly, yeah. It's
I mean, that's a really good way to be able to play with friends.
They are just like, nope, you can play with your friends no matter what. You're not going to be dragging them into the end game stuff, but like you can go anywhere in that world. Even the new expansion areas, no matter what. Blackmoor is coming out in 2 weeks, I think.
I remember playing it like a year and a half ago and being able to go right into the new expansion content and be effective.
Yeah, you can go anywhere. You can get matched with anybody, and you are never being pulled behind. You are never being forced to feel like you're just nothing. I reinstalled it recently, and oh my god, it is so good. The Necromancer from the newest expansion is just...
I'll have to give it a try when I have more time. MMOs really aren't where I've got a lot of time for right now. Yeah,
time is a luxury. Like, that's the reason why I've started playing... ESO is the reason why I started playing Skyrim again.
You tried to drag me... the Skyrim item, where we tried to do multiplayer, and we found out I have the original version of Skyrim, and that doesn't work!
No, it does not. That is no longer supported, and none of the code works for it either. But, like, it was that very similar thing, like... I have 5-10 minutes here. I want to play Elder Scrolls lately, and like can't really do much in 5-10 minutes on ESO. But I can get onto Skyrim, clear out a quest, clear out a cavern, and if I can't clear out the cavern, I could just say save and come back later, and not have to worry about it.
Really does help. Being able to pause a game is really helpful nowadays.
Yes. And platinuming Dark Souls games and Bloodborne and stuff like that really gives you an appreciation of games that you can sit and pause and think about.
Yet you can't beat Rise.
It's the control scheme, man. We'll get to that here in reviews, though. So, for those who don't know and just subscribe to the podcast, on twitch.tv/geekio show on Mondays and Fridays at 9 p.m., we do... what we lovingly call the Chaos Crew.
Oh god, is it chaos?
It's myself, Scott, my buddy Phil, and my wife Rachel, playing games that are absolutely chaos. Right now, our chaos is Path of Exile. CJ, why are you talking about this outside of just pimping your stuff out, you may ask? And I say, it's my show, I want to talk about it if I will. Also, they have an announcement tomorrow about their newest expansion... And also, some Path of Exile 2 news. It's at 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to be co-streaming it here, talking about it and giving some live reactions and stuff. And yeah, you can tune right here, follow and stuff. I don't know what to expect, but I'm excited because this game has its hooks in me bad.
I mean, yeah. As soon as I put Path of Exile in CJ's hands, and I started showing him what he could do.
Oh yeah.
The system, I pretty much just had it in black tar heroin.
You really did. Like ARPGs like that. Like I speed ran Diablo and Diablo 2 back in the day. Diablo 3. Once they got the kinks out of that one, I've played so much. I literally have worked on ARPGs like that before for ones that I can't say which ones I've done, but I've worked on them. Like those are my jam. And then you give me a game that's like copy paste of Diablo 2, well, Torchlight 2, really. and then adding onto it more and more and more the complexity and the depth of it, and I'm like, oh my god, why can't I not stop playing this game?
Well, Path of Exile is a love letter to Diablo 2.
Oh yeah.
It was originally written as a love letter to Diablo 2 because that's where it came from. It's just wanting to create this type of game, but do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And make it harder.
And you could tell, you could tell the inspiration in that game. Like I say Torchlight because Torchlight did the things in Diablo 2 that I could tell PoE grabbed and held on to because they improved on it and stuff like that. And then Path of Exile saw what they were doing, I'm guessing, and just improved on that. And yeah,
I mean, Torchlight series has done a good job at helping to improve the series.
Oh yeah,
make it spin out. I would show people that you can do more than just Diablo with it.
Yes.
I mean, there's been some really good games that come out of it. I mean, I'm looking at, and I'm going to pull my library up really quickly. Looking at The Last Epoch, it's in beta. It's not part of our reviews. Not until we can get something with multiplayer around it.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Is give me a multiplayer on that one, and I will bite into that as soon as that comes up.
Yeah, but like overall, like not as a review, but more as just like a kind of like how does it feel. I like the witch type character. I feel like I can make a honest to goodness Diablo 2 necromancer off of it. And it's got some nice aggressive play style, and it's got a very unique skill building system that kind of has me interested, that would really make it where CJ and I can create some really insane things.
Yes.
But Path of Exile has done some great things. I mean, yeah, you've got this gigantic free-to-play model that's microtransaction behind cosmetics and quality of life.
Yeah, like it is. If you don't care about any of the quality of life stuff, really, it's entirely free-to-play. Rachel hasn't spent a dime on the game and is been playing with us nonstop every inch of the way. So,
and like for us, like I've got my personal guild that I have on there for my friends that they're part of, and I've set it up where I paid for 3 tabs a long time ago because I set the thing up for me and my brother to be able to share things when playing this game, because he and I used to play it together a lot because we both grew up on Diablo 2 and literally fighting for time on the computer to play the goddamn game. So you become really competitive and really good when comparing to each other about builds. So
yes.
We've come up with some interesting things. But like the current season's really fun with Ritual and being able to do certain things. But this next one's called Ultimatum.
Yes, I am intrigued with what that will bring.
Yeah. But the announcement to come out of Path of Exile 2 is just... When you look at the game, they're fundamentally changing how they handle skills, how you progress your trees, and oh wait, more story, more characters to build off of, and oh wait, this is being built and set on top of Path of Exile itself, where they will coexist in the same system, and you can play Path of Exile 1 and then transition into Path of Exile 2.
That is intriguing how that transition is going to happen. Yeah. And speaking of transitions and things that I'm never really great at,
segue.
No, those aren't sold anymore. I found out recently.
Problems with the batteries, I'm betting.
Yeah, we have some games coming out this month, and I've picked out a few. We actually don't have a lot of huge games coming out, and this list that I have here are only really AAA titles, and I'm sorry, but there's like a metric shit ton of indie games, and I don't know which ones are good.
Yeah, that's the hard thing to tell.
Give me information on if they're good or not. Just email me, cj@geek-io.net. Tell me if I should be covering a game. Anywho,
any good roguelites, please let us know.
Yeah, exactly.
Goes up.
Also, speaking of ARPGs and stuff, we'll talk about one of those in the second half of the show. Outriders came out on the 1st. Scott's going to do a review of it. I physically can't play the game. I literally can't climb up a wall. I hit a wall in that game.
A wall that is a wall.
A literal wall. It's highlighted like I should be able to climb over it, and I can't climb over it. So instead of giving the game a bad review, we'll talk about that in the second half of the show. But yeah, I played the game. I physically can't play it. Not because of disability or computer specs or anything like that. I was playing that thing on Ultra.
He's just bugged hard.
Yeah. I uninstalled it, reinstalled it, verified the files, everything. Like, did that, got a refund. Because, yeah.
Good time, and plus, honestly, if you want to revisit it...
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm going to. That game looks...
It's on Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah. Like, I'm loving the game. It's like all... It feels like, for obvious reasons, it feels like Gears of War 1 and 2. Like, but again, for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's really good. It feels really good until I literally hit a wall.
I mean, it's a fun wall.
Yeah. Until I see a blue wall that I can't climb over. Because 3 dimensions is hard. Speaking of 3 dimensions being hard, on the 15th, next, what was that? Next Thursday, Saga Frontier Mirrored Mastered is coming out. And oh my god, Saga Frontier is one of my favorite games of all time. I
don't know this game.
It is where you could pick one. You have a selection of one of 8 heroes, and each of those heroes has their own individual story. It's kind of like Octopath Traveler.
Okay, one of those.
Yeah, exactly. And then at the end of it, you could choose a party and take on the very end of the story, because as you weave your way through the game, you realize that all of the characters, even if they may not meet up in the same place, all of them and most of the stories subtly connect to another one. Like, you'll hear one of the people's like, "Oh, there's this little monster girl that ran through here the other day." Oh, I know who that is.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing.
Those are good games.
It's never as overt as like Octopath was. I love Octopath Traveler, but it's not as overt as that.
I'm still gonna play that one.
Sometimes it's overt. Sometimes they just beat you over the head with 2 of the characters are in the party together and 2 playthroughs in a row. But they have also added another person in this remaster, and I can't state that I'm not going to be playing that game for many hours when it comes out next week.
Mm.
And the week after too, Nier Replicant 1.3 something. It is the remake of the original Nier, which is the sequel to Drakengard, which is the prequel to Nier Automata. But it's also not a remake of that. It's also a sequel to that, but also the game, which is also a sequel to Drakengard, but also has parts that take place before Drakengard and after Automata. And listen, there were 26 endings in Nier Automata, and 26 endings in the original Nier, and 26 endings in Drakengard, and these guys are mad lads, and I love them for it.
As someone who doesn't play Nier, but observes it from the outside, holy shit, his timeline is convoluted.
Oh, yes, man. Like,
I love it. I love it, because like I just never have the time to put into the game.
Yeah, because Automata, you have to play through the game 3 times to get the actual storyline.
Yeah.
And that's if you don't accidentally get the wrong endings.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the game is so much fun, though. It's like Devil May Cry with waifus.
If I went Devil May... Well, yeah. No, that's Dark Souls with waifus. Never mind.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, Devil May Cry with waifus, and it's really, 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 really good. I don't know if I'm going to pick it up on day 1. I don't know. It depends on what I'm playing at the time. Got a new Pokemon Snap coming out for the Switch. on the 30th.
Yeah, I saw that recently on the Nintendo Store. I'm not gonna lie, I might get it. I mean, Pokemon Snap is like one of those games on the N64 that I fondly remember saving up my goddamn hard-earned allowance to and odd jobs around the neighborhood.
Yep.
To go out and buy a $60 cartridge game. And play this with my little brother across a weekend and beat it and not be upset that I literally beat a game in about 20 hours. I was just happy to be taking pictures of Pokemon,
right?
And figuring out the secrets without magazines, wikis, or the internet.
Oh yeah, man! Like that game is just one of those things that is just like it's dopamine right into your freaking veins, man. Like it's like you drive through the same levels more than once. That's fine because I didn't realize that there's a freaking Gengar hanging out behind that mountain there.
Or if I do this shows up.
Exactly. Like that.
And if I cause this to show up, this shows up.
It's so like, and it's just so like fluffy, and there's nothing bad to it. There's no the world is gonna end. It's just a kid taking pictures of Pokemon, and damn it, if that doesn't sound like the best freaking thing in 2021, I don't know what else to say.
I mean, after 2020, yeah.
Yeah, like shit's been so weird for so long, man. Just sitting down for a couple hours and taking pictures of Pokemon just sounds like bliss. I can't lie, I'm probably going to get it. Well, particularly because of the kids, because I want them to have that kind of same experience that you did. I had a very similar experience with it. N64 was just my lifeblood of my formative years.
I'm pretty sure I still have mine.
Oh, man, I've come close to buying an N64 several times, strictly because there are so many games that I grew up with that I want to play and stream and do retro games of.
That reminds me, I need to fix the power supply on my Super NES.
Yeah, there you go. And then another game on the 30th, Returnal. I put this on here because it's the only PlayStation 5 exclusive that's come out since the freaking game system came out.
Wait, the PlayStation 5 has games?
Yeah, in fact, and it kind of sucks that mine's just been sitting here because I platinum Demon Souls, and Hitman 3 I beat. I'm like, so I go back and play Skyrim.
I mean, you can go play Godfall. Oh wait, that wasn't a good game.
No, it was not. I played it for I gave it my hour, and if a game really does, I'm busy and have jobs and stuff, and if a game doesn't catch me within an hour, I'm done. Which sucks because freaking Gearbox is so good at making games, and I don't know. I'm guessing that was just. But yeah, Returnal.
It was rushed.
It
was rushed.
And Returnal's a game where it's kind of like that Tom Cruise movie where you die and you come back to life and stuff like that. And it seems real interesting. And when it goes on sale, I'll pick it up. But I thought it was worth mentioning because it's literally the first PS5 exclusive to come out since the freaking system launched in November. And that's a weird thing to say.
I mean, I don't even own a PS5 at this point. I'm still using a PS4.
And
oh wait, I'm using it to just use YouTube. That's it.
Honestly,
I don't use it anymore. I have a high-powered PC. Why?
Yeah. It's honestly like I play a lot of the PlayStation 4 games on it because it upscales to 4K on it. And they look real pretty. Like Horizon Zero Dawn and Spider-Man Miles Morales look just gorgeous on there. And once I get some more games on there, it's going to be worth every penny that I spent on it. But right now, it's just, I don't know. Any dang way. Yeah. I do have Monster Hunter World on it, though, because it literally comes with, like, if you have PlayStation Plus, it has the PlayStation Now library integrated That was not a word that I just said.
Sure.
Integrated? Okay. You have the PlayStation Now library if you have PlayStation Plus with it. So,
It's a good deal.
yeah. Like, I was okay with just having PlayStation Plus because Bugsnax, the game that came out the month that the game released, was so much fun. And I played it through twice because there was nothing else to play on the PS5. And it's like Pokemon with it's like Pokemon with insects.
Okay.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was worth the price. I can't say that. I'd pay $20 for it. It was a good game. Any dang way. Podcast listeners, remember that break that I said you're going to have? Here's the second one. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. It's going good. Going good. All right. Yeah. 30 minutes into recording. 36 minutes. Exactly what I want it to be. Because we will easily spend a half hour talking about this. So. All right. Coming back in 3. And we're back, and it's time for us to review and go over some video game science. So, remember that in the last segment where I talked about I love ARPGs and I love Magic the Gathering. Man, if I didn't get told, because I was on the press list, about this game called Magic Legends, and when I found out about it, I immediately went and downloaded it. And it's in early access right now because damn you Baldur's Gate 3 for allowing people to think that releasing a game on early access, a AAA game on early access, is okay thing to do. Man, Magic the Gathering, I've been playing since 1994. Played competitively. I went to freaking world championships and that. Okay, cool, awesome. ARPGs. Just told you guys I speed ran. I had records on Diablo 1. Up until, 3 years ago, I was the fastest person through Act 1 on Diablo 1. Never could be beat.
Whew. That's a long record to hold.
Man, ARPGs and Magic the Gathering. Certainly, this is chocolate and peanut butter together. This is the Reese Cup of games for me. Damn it, Baldur's Gate, quit. You allowed companies to think that releasing AAA titles on early access is a good thing. Admittedly, it's better than, releasing a game that's not done as full release, but still. So, there's some issues with this game. I'm running a game. I'm running on a system that I can run Outriders on Ultra and still get 80 to 100 frames per second. So my machine is beast. Tell me why I was getting 20 frames per second while playing this game.
What engine was it running on?
I don't remember. Might have been Unreal.
Unreal, and was it like DX12?
It is DX12, yes.
It's surprising considering it's DX12.
Exactly. Like, it made no sense to me.
DX12 has issues.
But not 20 frames per second on a computer that's really freaking good. Like, it plays like a weird mobile game, and you can't skip any cutscenes. You can't skip any dialogue. So when you create a new character, because each of the 5 schools is a different character, which is cool. I like that idea. But you have to go through this really slow intro every time you create a new character. And that intro is minimum 40 minutes. And you can't skip any of it.
Nope. That's a deal breaker. If you're just trying to create characters after going through it for the first time, why?
But
is it contextually something for that character?
No. It's the same intro. Same characters and everything. Because I originally started with the blue character because I play blue in Magic because I'm a controlling son of a bitch.
Yeah, explains a lot.
I am a Timmy. And
he's going to fall in that well.
Oh, yeah. No, 100%. I will die in that well. So
I'm going to leave him in the well, actually.
Yep. I roll a blue character and I meet Roz, and who's a blue character, red and blue character. I'm like, cool. Okay. Wasn't really feeling the way the blue character played because I don't like ranged glass cannons in ARPGs, and that's what the blue character is. Fine. I go and I roll up the green character because it's freaking Nissa, and I'm like, that's cool. I want to play Nissa. I'm going there, and there's Raul. Why is Raul Zarek the leader of the green? Oh, there's no difference here. Load up the black character. There's no difference. And I can't skip anything. And sometimes I click a button and it doesn't do anything. And I mean, standing still, literally pressing the Q button to do a skill. And it doesn't do anything. I hit it 2 more times and it finally fires. Oh wait, it fired 4 times. Now all my mana's gone.
Sounds like Q lag.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it an online game too?
It is. It's all online. Yes, there's no single player. Yeah. So the game has potential. It really does. And it could just be my bias saying that. Just know that this could be this score coming up here. Oh, by the way, we're scoring these on a out of 10, and we can give halves because reasons. Know that this score may be entirely my bias because it is Magic and it is ARPGs. I'm giving it a 4 out of 10. Don't buy it now because it's also you have to spend $20 on it. I didn't because the company loves me. But it's $20. Don't buy it. Don't buy it right now. Let it get its kinks out. Let it get into full release, and then it has promise. But I can't say that I was having fun with it, so I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. Grayson agrees. Rachel was watching me stream it, and she's like, yeah, no, this is not being able to skip these things is just, that's not okay.
Yeah, I actually turned it on as well that night. Watched him for like 5 minutes. I'm like, I can't watch him play this, and turned it off.
It was so bad. Like it was just really, really, really bad. And I tried playing it more like 3 days later. I'm like, maybe it's network lag. So I turned it on my lunch break. I purposely took my lunch break early from work. So I'm like 10 a.m. on a Wednesday. Like, there's no way that this server is hosed. And it wasn't. There was like 20-something people online. And I still was getting maybe 25 FPS.
That's a really bad optimization, and it sounds like because of the Q lag you were experiencing just on pressing the key versus what was being shown on screen versus registering between client side and server side, their netcode is just shit.
Yeah.
I would definitely, if it's that case, then I would give it till full release.
Yes, 100%. You know, it's the same company that does Neverwinter. There we go. Arc. I had to remember the freaking Hob. Hob is one of the best games of the last generation. Torchlight. Like, Remnant from the Ashes, which is legitimately my favorite first-person shooter that's been out since Borderlands 2. Like, these guys know what they're doing. Just this game wasn't released. Sorry, it's not early access, it's open beta. It's the same freaking thing.
I mean, yeah, that's what an early access is just calling it a different name.
Exactly.
It also depends on, and considering you had to pay for it, is early access.
Yes.
Open beta, as we would know it, is you signed up to play.
Yeah, like I've signed up for the tech alpha of Diablo 2 Resurrected.
Have fun with that.
I'm so excited.
There's no such thing as Blizzard anymore. I'm sorry. I can't touch it if the people who created it aren't the ones redoing it.
Well, David Brevik and them no longer work for Blizzard, so
I know. And that's why I'm saying I won't touch it.
it was a fan creation that Blizzard decided to actually throw money into. So I mean, there's that.
We'll see.
I
have things against Activision. That's it.
and that's fair. I mean, Activision is up there with EA on hated games developers.
I mean, they've just done some really shitty things as a publisher to the developers.
Oh yeah, no,
in terms of the quality and direction of games.
Oh, I'm right there with you. Thankfully, though, their back end of it, they have the same back end people who that did Warcraft on the back end, but they were like, yeah, no, we screwed up and we won't do that again. We apologize. Like, admittedly, like the Warcraft 3 stuff that they screwed up on, they actually went back and re-stood up the old servers for Battle.net so people could play Warcraft 3, the original again, and also removed the thing from their terms of service saying that any game created on there is theirs.
Oh.
So Blizzard, well, sometimes they make a Activision-sized toe stub. Sometimes remember that, oh yeah, we're Blizzard and we do enjoy our fans.
Yeah, I mean, they just have to. I working in the IT industry gives you good perspective versus deliverable versus end product the way you would see as a consumer.
Yes.
So, I mean, I understand some of the business decisions. Doesn't mean I agree with them as a person.
Right. And I'm right there with you on that one.
I mean, I completely understand when shit hits the fan, you got to make a decision about a project on something. It is what it is, people. Sometimes the server is not going to work that way because it just won't ever work that way.
Yeah, exactly. You know, code and data, sometimes data doesn't flow this way that the CEO thinks that the data is going to flow because I may be a wizard, but I'm not a goddamn lich.
Yep. And there may not just be a fast enough route that infrastructure can supply that enables them secure traffic.
Exactly. And it sucks that they release a product like that doesn't always have that availability for the customers, especially in a consumer-facing company like Blizzard. But anyway, we should talk about another game.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some.
These things will happen. These things will happen.
So let's let that game fall and another game rise.
Ah, yes. My current Black Tar heroine. Monster Hunter Rise came out on the Switch about 2 weeks ago on March 26th, and I'm gonna have to say, as a fanboy, I love this game. It's so much faster paced than World, especially as a person who came in at World. It plays. It makes me feel like I'm actually accomplishing things a little bit more instead of just sitting there and watching an iframe go off and not having to worry. I feel like I'm actually punished now for playing alone.
Yeah, playing alone
high
is
rank quests.
really, like, even on lower level stuff, like, playing alone is an interesting experience.
Especially, I mean, CJ, like when we were talking earlier, he complains about the controls, and I do understand. Like, if you're not used to like certain types of things, especially if you play certain types of games, it may mess with you. Even though you can change some of the controls, you can't rebind things, which for some players might be a deal breaker.
It's a big deal.
But
It's 2021.
yeah.
Let me rebind everything.
Well, it's on the Switch right now. That's the thing. When it gets to PC, that'll be a big difference. You'll be able to rebind everything. And guess what? I'm going to put another freaking 500 to 1,000 hours onto it on PC.
Yeah, and I will pick it up on PC too. It's not even a question because I'm having a blast with it on the Switch. I'm real bad at it, and dude, like I've said, I've platinumed Dark Souls games. Like, this is Dark Souls with dinosaurs. I'm in. It's just really freaking hard to, like, my mind just doesn't want to wrap its head around X and A or Y and A being combat options.
I mean, I understand. Plus, like, different fighter games also play into that thought process there too. But I mean, like, the biggest thing about that I really enjoy about it is the fact that I can sit there and go methodical by methodical by methodical approach to my hunts, or to how I'm just going to decimate the inherent monster population of a map because I want more materials because it's a goddamn monster. Because guess what? If you really love Monster Hunter, you become the monster.
Yeah.
At this point, I've beaten Village, and I feel that Village is a little too easy. But this is me, and Village is all low rank. And low rank for non-Monster Hunter players is tutorial.
Yes.
It's to get you used to the game, to introduce you to monsters, introduce you to mechanics, give you a story, and set you down your true addicting path of beating up monsters, breaking apart their tail, their horns, cutting off their tails, and then skinning them for parts. You will just, if it really is your type of game to enjoy boss fighters, this game will get its claws into you and never let go. If it clicks, there's tons of weapons. Not all of us play the same weapon. Some of us disagree on what is the best weapon, what isn't the best weapon. And the answer is hammer.
I don't know, man. The hunting horn's real good.
Well, hunting horn really in Rise is just one of the best weapons. Though many people out there will probably tell you it's the greatsword because that is pretty much the de facto weapon besides sword and shield when you hear of Monster Hunter.
Yeah, exactly. And I love the greatsword too. Like, I got to work on my timing with the greatsword.
That's actually how you play greatsword. It's all on timing.
Oh,
you
yeah.
actually have to become a patient player. Because it's all about knowing your timing. So think of a really heavy weapon in like Dark Souls.
Yeah.
And then add more frames to it. And then, oh wait, because you're carrying that heavier weapon, your character's actually slower.
Yeah.
Like, physically slower.
Mm-hmm.
Your weapons affect your movement. But Rise, thanks to, instead of having that weird grapple that we had in World with the Slinger, Slinger's gone, and now we have Wirebug.
Yeah, now we have Spider-Man powers. Flip.
The Spider-Man powers is actually a lot better, and
Yes.
it augments your moveset. Instead of being something where you like dodge in and do something a little bit more where they added in an Iceborne. Not to say that wasn't great improvements, especially for building into Rise, but when you get down to just overall enjoyment and pacing of gameplay and being able to mix up your skills, because they do offer you not just a certain set of skills, because Monster Hunter is really good about this. Previous games have had guild arts. We didn't have this in World, which was kind of a shame. But we had tons of weapons, and you had a really big, fun platform where you were putting the game against multiple consoles. So
Right.
not all the audiences would be able to understand or appreciate guild arts. I miss the fact that they didn't have aerial hammer in the world. I made it happen though. The interesting thing with the switch skills are there's two types of switch skills for both movements, and you have one that's set in stone and the other one that's switchable can become really, really useful and change the entire way you approach your play style and the way you have your gear set up. So it makes it really fun to play. Just got to high rank in Hub, and Hub is actually meant for multiplayer, yet I'm doing this solo because I'm a glutton for punishment.
Night, baby. Yeah.
Plus, I also want to see the end game boss and beat the end game boss solo.
By myself. Well, solo with your doggo and kitty pals. I love the dog, by the way.
Palamutes are so adorable, so great to use. They're great for movement around the map.
Yes. Oh my God. Like I didn't realize that I wanted that until I have it, and like the thought crossed my mind to go back to play World for a little bit because I just want to go back to a game that I wasn't terrible at, and like, but then I won't have my doggo pal, and
yeah. Well, think about this: you also don't have Poogie.
Yeah, that's true.
Then again, I've gotten some compared to like the way my rewards tend to drop in Monster Hunter early on. I have not gotten this many plates and gems in a very long time. And plates and gems, for people who haven't played this type of game, are really rare material.
Yes.
Where you have like 5% chance on a break or a carve of a part. So a carve is the entire body. A break is a certain part. And guess what? People like me who play Hammer, because bonk is the only way, are breaking everything to try to get something. And sometimes you're just not getting it, and you'll be fighting the same monster again and again and again.
Yeah.
Though, if I could ever teach CJ true hunting horn, he would never be able to put down Rise because there are some ridiculous things people are doing with it.
Toot.
It's not just the toots. The fact that you can, instead of like previous style, you do a stanza and you queue up your song.
Yes.
Well, now, you hit two buttons. I have attack power up, and you got hit in the face.
Yep. Toot.
You feel like a badass.
Yes, you really do. You feel like this, like you feel like kind of like an action hero, like, but the music that goes up with you, like. It's almost like in an anime where when the theme song kicks in, except when that theme song kicks in, you actually get power out of it.
Yeah, that's actually the moment you start dodging and just countering the monster in its movements, irregardless if it's low or high rank. And it's not a judgment on anyone for what they can play in this game. It is a hard game for a get-go.
It really is, and I love it
but
for
I'm
it.
But to say not play it. It is a fun game.
Oh yeah.
You're not, even if you've never been a monster, if you're not a Monster Hunter fan, you're still a Monster Hunter in waiting. You just haven't found the right weapon, and you haven't found the right people to play with.
That. Exactly that.
I will always look to help out other hunters with this game. I have a few people I train up in this game to keep them playing and feeling like they can progress. And someone who I took through World, literally, my back hurts from carrying his ass. And he knows it. My buddy literally went to me in a Discord call recently while playing together and went, dude, if you hadn't busted my chops and trained me so hard in World, I wouldn't feel like goddamn badass that I do right now, and I am still getting my ass handed to me.
Yeah, sounds alright.
So honestly, if I'm going to give this game a score, there are some issues that I have right now with some frame rate drops and whatnot, and the fact that it's on Switch and not on my PC. 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 strictly because of it needs some quality of life things, which I know will come with the PC. But seriously, just because I'm bad at it doesn't mean that it's not a great game, and it is a fantastic game. It shows like the fact that the Switch is not just this kiddie console that can't have great graphics and have great games on it. No, it's legitimately great. Just because I'm bad at it doesn't mean that you can't that it's not awesome. Go get it. It's amazing, or wait for it to come out on PC.
And things that felt really easy in World, by the way, you will think that if you've played before are chumps. You'll be taught wrong really quickly, trust me.
Yeah, I've seen some videos.
Rathalos is actually King of the Skies again, and sadly to say, my first actual failure in overall of this game was in a high rank to a Barioth, which I consider to be a little bitch in World.
Yeah, that was like one of the first
master rank.
It was like one of the first monsters that you can.
One of the first few variants of the monsters when you get to the desert, and he's head poundy chargy boy, the hammer on two legs.
Yeah, exactly.
But because of the Switch and some of the frame stuff, they tuned him up, is what I'm saying. He actually feels like a challenge. He feels more powerful. I failed the same attack 3 times in a row. And it's literally that moment of, oh no, shit, let's not do that again. Oh no, shit, I did it again. Oh no, fine, I'm done with this game. Walk away. Literally just left it on the acceptance screen, and 2 hours later, then accepted the rewards, and then put the console into sleep. It's still the same session. It's actually playing in the background right now, taunting me with a hammer that I just made.
Bonk.
Bonk.
Bonk and tootin'.
Squish bonk with this one.
Yeah.
Bloodwrath hammer.
Nice. All right, so let's talk about some Outriders, a game that you play and I physically can't.
Yes. You have to love looter shooters to be able to want to play a game like this. Do not compare it to Destiny. If someone compares it to Destiny, you're kind of looking at the wrong scheme of things. Destiny is a live service game, and it's been out for a very long time.
Right.
And Bungie is a great company. They've created a great game and a great model. Whereas some things are threadbare in certain situations, and you haven't always appreciated their design choices, it's still been a really good game. I just haven't picked it up in the past, expansion.
Right.
I don't care anymore on Destiny 2. It's I know you're free of Activision. You're still kind of making some of those same mistakes.
Yeah.
In just terms of gameplay decisions. That's also them. But this is a game made by People Can Fly, and we know them from Bulletstorm and Gears of War.
Yes, that's why I said it feels a lot like Gears of War. Definitely not Bulletstorm. Bulletstorm is a lot more Bulletstormy.
Yeah, and Bulletstormy. I would compare genre types of games to mostly the feel and grit of a Gears of War game, the movement and third-person fighting style of that, and then Diablo 3 for the sheer will of RPG mechanics in terms of the skill trees and your overall modding capability, and how the worlds scale up in tier when you're talking about difficulty. You're not talking about a scaling of damage being done by the monster and that reflecting on your character. It's actually a scaling in terms of, from what we understand right now, in terms of the resistance to damage. They're still doing the same amount of fuck all damage to you anyway.
Well, yeah.
By the way, you're squishy as shit no matter what. I mean, you can become stronger through modding yourself out and becoming a lot better. But as playing as a trickster right now, which is honest to God, it's a fucking rogue, but you can also make it a dex tank. But I am pretty much playing a rogue in a sense with the way I'm playing it right now. But if I get caught out in the open and I'm not dashing to keep a certain skill up through my mods,
Right.
I'm gonna get wasted, and I'm gonna feel bad about it. But guess what? I made a mistake.
Yeah, that's on you.
Reset, replan.
Yeah.
I'm playing on World Tier 8 at this point, and oh my god, if I fuck something up, I completely understand why, because I didn't do a certain combo in a certain time to counter for a certain situation.
Yeah.
But as I've gotten more things and I've gone back into the game solo instead of playing as a team, because there's some problems right now, honestly, in my opinion, and a couple of the people I play with, when we talk about scaling in terms of playing in multiplayer. Because they do advertise this game as a co-op game, which is a lot of fun with other players. Like, you scale back the difficulty, the monsters at a certain degree don't feel bad when you're in a big player group. But we don't want to play on where the monsters are the same level as us. We want to play where we're getting that good loot, we're getting that higher rarity, and we're getting that better drop. We also want a challenge because, oh wait, we're a bunch of psychos. But the problem we're finding is they're scaling the monsters in terms of the resistances. They're just making them a whole lot more tanky, and overall quantity of the enemies.
Okay.
Sure. Okay, do that, but instead of like boosting the resistances up way higher than what should it be, drop them down, or make the enemies you're gonna leave that tankiness in there, and decrease the amount of enemies you're spawning, because there are situations where two of us are just going, holy shit, how the hell do we do this? So we'll run into a room, go as far as we can, nearly beat a room, and see where our mistakes were, and then reapproach and readdress, and halfway through probably that same one go, how the fuck did you end up there? Like, and I did my ODST thing, and they all exploded and died. Well, you didn't tell me you did that, because when I looked up, you were just the Resby symbol. So I literally just turned, looked, found someone that was up there with my little warp ability, and got my ass up there. I'm like, how the hell did you get up here? Picked his ass up, and then proceeded to try to figure out where we messed up.
Right.
So we realized, oh wait, we rushed in too deep, too fast. So we started doing line of sight things, doing what you'd want to do to progress the game forward, and you just see us non-verbally communicating, just the way you start setting up chains and combinations. There is some jank in the servers right now, especially with the big authentication issues they had with Square Enix over the weekend. I've got a couple of people who have really high power rigs, and they're just having problems left and right, like you, like where it's just lagging left and right and they can barely play, where they're just sitting and waiting on it.
Yeah.
But when it's working and they're able to play, they're like, oh my god, I am having so much fun. As much as they're beating their head against a wall, because there are so many hard things.
Right.
Because unlike CJ, they're able to climb over that wall. They're just now being hit by 1,000 monsters that are going, haha, you don't have great weapons or combinations right now. You may want to be working on a lower tier and not continuing trying to move forward as hard as possible.
You're not my real mom game.
Yeah, because honestly, this game will let you auto scale your difficulty up. Every time you level up your world tier, you can keep it just stay there, because guess what? You're unlocking more permanent level to the item you can wear, which is great when you're leveling.
Well, yeah.
Say you're level 14, you wear level 16 gear, you've got a whole lot less problems if you end up having to scale it back. Because guess what? That's a permanent thing. When we're talking about rarities and drop tables and the scaling of the monsters, then we're talking about the permanent non-stuff that you can switch. But here's the great thing. Provided you're not in combat and you've had a bad time, you don't have to reload this map to switch your freaking difficulty. You can literally just change it on the freaking fly.
So, other than that part, it feels kind of like how Warframe handles things.
Yes, it does. Though it does help, in my opinion, to key up some of the stuff similar on your keyboard to Warframe as being a Warframe junkie.
Well, yeah.
Like move your flighting attacks up to your from F to move it to your E, just like that.
Right.
So like your sword attacks in Warframe, you're so used to hitting E and using a combination of that between your mouse buttons that it just feels better to put there and move your interact to F.
So you mean that you should change your control scheme to one that you're more comfortable with, and it'll make the game more enjoyable?
Yes, CJ. Yes, it will. One of the things that'll really help you, and I think a lot of games like this need to start doing, is they actually have a loot all button.
Oh my god, that is so.
And not only do they do that for when you transition a zone or when you die, you can set it to a filter of quality of item, which means every player should just go ahead and set it to unusual and pick everything up, because guess what? You're just going to pick everything up and break it all down if you don't need it, because crafting is really, really important in this game. When they were teasing it, they weren't going around. They really want you to craft. I am sitting down between big missions and literally just leveling up pieces of gear, switching in the new ones, modding in my abilities that I'm wanting to use for the build I'm liking to play right now, and then tweaking the individual stats on those pieces of gear to make sure I am stronger than what is around me. Because if I don't, the game is going to punch me, and I love it.
So what are you giving this game?
I give it a 7 out of 10 right now. I honestly say give them a few weeks to iron out some of the bugs with servers and some of the optimization issues. Even though they did put out for a very wide audience for a month, they were only giving you a very small selection of the game when you're talking about it. So a lot of permutations, a lot of things, and a lot of bugs hadn't been tested out completely that players just hadn't hammered on yet. Because honestly, what are we going to do? Try to break things.
Right.
That's what we like doing.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not giving a rating on it strictly because I just there's this huge bug that I literally can't get over, and I want to play it. I really do because I love those kind of games. But I guess I'll try again in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, when we get it in, we get you in, and they've had some things ironed out, you and I will see if we can drag Phil in and do a Chaos Crew run, because it's a 3-man party.
Perfect. All right. I think with that, we are going to go ahead and wrap it up then for this first episode of Gamer Geeks. Scott, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for inviting me and allowing me to join you for this.
Not a problem at all. Everybody, if you want to subscribe to the channel, twitch.tv/geekio show. Like I said, Wednesdays at 9 p.m. is when we record this show. Mondays and Fridays is when we do our Chaos Crew Shenaniganery streaming games here on the channel. For myself, for Scott, and for everybody here at the Geek.io Network, we love you, be good to one another, and we will see you right back here next week.